What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Clocks Running, the podcast for everything flag football officials. I'm your host, Ant, and we have an amazing show going on tonight. We got guests coming from all over the globe, all right? Because this week I have spent so much time waking up early, watching games off of some streaming service that I don't even know how I plug into it, and I'm slowing down my phone as it goes. But man, I have been glued to all these IFAF games because it is so exciting. So we have a very special show. We had one midweek with Mara. Shout out to Mara from Mexico. I appreciate her making time. I know in Finland it's a completely different time zone, and she made time to sit down and talk some topics. But tonight with the guests, we're doing something even extra special. So first and foremost, our own personal island boy, Dean. What up?
What up? What up? What up? Good to be back as always.
Hey, are the island boys from the Cayman Islands? Is that where they're from? You know?
No, they're from Florida.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Uh, when do you start getting your first face tattoo?
Never.
Okay.
I
All
will
right, fair
never
enough.
ink up the face.
Hey, me neither. You know, it's from neckline down. I hope to eventually be covered. So, but I will leave the face free of any ink as well. We now we got to bring this guy on. I honestly think he's in Finland right now. I think he is because he has been very busy lately. Jacob, what up?
I've been what?
You've been busy. Are you in Finland?
No, I'm in North Carolina, man, where electricity was just, reinvented and this sometimes that's just the way the jello jiggles, man.
Oh man, sometimes the jello just jiggles. I get it. You know, it's that razzle dazzle kind of thing.
That
You know,
right. I mean, you gotta throw a little razzle dazzle on it, man.
as they do in Miami, right?
Yeah,
Uh, Dean, you wouldn't understand because you only started following this show 3 or 4 episodes ago. But way back in the archives, if you look it up, we talk about Jello, we talk about Razzle Dazzle,
oh
and then
man.
we had a we had a lot of episodes with me in the back of a car for some reason.
Well, I mean, it was kind of like the mobile version of the show.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I know the episodes with you in the back of the car. I've seen it. I've seen it.
All right,
Yeah.
so I'm sorry, Jacob. I got to do it, man. I know this is way off topic, but we were about to start the show, and Dean just went ahead and dropped some crazy facts about himself. I can't even, you
Yeah,
make
we
a
should talk
statement,
about
Jacob.
this.
You make a statement about the Mandalorian, and Dean, like with pride, he's like, "I've never seen Star Wars. I've never seen Lord of the Rings. I don't know how to tie my shoes. I've never seen Game of Thrones. Like, what is it?"
Yeah,
Uh,
okay, so all right, so on your shirt you've got the Mandalorian. Is Grogu on there as well? Do you
uh,
know who Grogu is?
no.
Okay, so
So
if I say baby,
the honest reason I got this shirt is because I was in a rush at Target and I actually thought it was Iron Man, right? Because I saw the mess, I was like, and that's
Oh
why I
my
picked it
god.
up. And then it's only when I got to the cashier, well, after I got back to the hotel, I realized, wait a minute, this is actually the Mandalorian. But it's a cool shirt. It was $8. I'm like,
and
whatever,
we
I'll
can
still
do
wear
this
it.
show just the two of us tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I
We
was just about to say, I think this is our last show because we're gonna get canceled after a
Oh
statement like
God, man.
that.
So wait a minute, let me make sure I got this right. So you said you've never seen Star Wars, you've never seen Star Trek, you've never
Mm-mm.
seen Lord of the Rings, you've never seen Game of
No.
Thrones.
Mm-mm.
What do you watch? Looney
There's
Tunes?
a lot. So we actually had this exact discussion with my best friend, and she's actually horrified at the fact that I don't like I haven't because there's a lot of classic movies I've never seen either. I've never seen Gladiator. I've never seen Braveheart. There's a lot of movies that I haven't seen. So
So what do you watch?
Yeah, what's your favorite movie?
Yeah, what's your favorite movie?
uh, catch me if you can.
Where's the off button? Catch me.
The funny thing is, I just watched other sports movies as well. I just watched about 2 weeks ago. I just watched Sandlot for the first time. It was a pretty good movie.
Now you just.
No. All right.
Now you're just disrespecting my whole generation. Come on, man.
Lord, man. So you.
Okay, hold on. Have you ever seen Little Giants?
Nope.
Oh my gosh! Have you remember the Titans? You've seen that one, right?
No.
Rudy.
Forrest Gump.
Rudy, no. Forrest Gump, yes.
Okay,
right, hold on. Okay. So we haven't seen Little Giants. We just saw Sandlot, but we've watched Forrest Gump.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna go down my route of my favorite movies. Have you ever seen Billy Madison?
Yes.
Have you seen Happy Gilmore?
Yes.
So if it makes you laugh, you watch it.
Pretty much.
So that's it. You don't watch the series.
Well, Forrest Gump didn't really make me laugh. It's not really a funny movie. But
I mean, he does rat until he just didn't want to run no more. That is funny.
Mama told me laugh like a box of chocolates.
All right, let's get to what we're going to do tonight.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, just because of this, Dean, just plan on being on the hot seat all night tonight. And we're going to start it off with the hottest topic lately. We've been talking about it basically with every guest that has come on. So it's your turn. But I want to be very specific about this question because I don't want to hear about what you want. Okay? All of us want flag players to play in the Olympics. We all want to see the guys that we've officiated make it to the Olympics because then that's our connection to the Olympics, right? What I'm asking from you is what do you think will happen in 4 years, 2028? Is it going to be NFL players or the flag players that are, in the circuit right now? Who do you think?
Who do I think is going to be? I think with the reputation and with the status quo of everything, I think it's probably going to end up being NFL players. Just because that's the, status quo. It's like, oh, we want these players to go. We want to do this. Obviously, like you said, I don't want to see it, but I do think that's what's going to happen.
Okay, and why do you answer that so easily? What's your basis?
I just think that, it's a sad thing to say, but I know the Olympics will draw a crowd of its own, and you don't need to sell tickets, but people are going to want to go because they're going to want to see celebrities. They're not going to want to go and see, a quarterback in flag football that they've maybe seen once or twice. So I think it's just a popularity contest. And I think in that instance, everything's a popularity contest. So it's obviously the famous players are going to get a shot at it because of that.
Okay, so just take your pick. NFL player, quarterback. Who do you think could easily translate into flag today?
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that was pretty easy. Jacob, he completely just rebutted all of your arguments from a couple weeks ago just in a few sentences. So, is there anything you want to add? Or
I don't need to add anything. By the at the end of the day, how many owners are going to let their players? Who cares what the NFL executives say that they want to have happen? How many owners are going to let their players leave before training camp or during training camp to go play 2 weeks in the Olympics? How many owners are willing to give up those $100 million contracts they've got these guys signing to go play flag football for a $30,000 medal? I get there's a lot of pride and a lot of other things that go along with this, but the reality is, what's paying the bills here? Them going and playing, 2 weeks of flag football or, a whole season for possibly going for a Super Bowl run. I mean, those are the real questions. I think what I want to happen and what realistically is going to happen are two different things. What I want to happen is I want to let the flag players have their moment, let them enjoy what they're doing, let them be able to celebrate the hard work and all the, the time and the blood, sweat, and tears they put into it. But the reality is, you're going to have a couple NFL players. You're going to have probably a handful of guys who are just retired that have some notoriety to their name that are going to be on that roster to help, make it make sense for the NFL financially to put in as much money as they have to the Olympics. So.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Dean, back on the hot seat. My next question, if we're talking about NFL players, flag players, all right, now let's shift it to the officials. Do you think that it is going to be flag football officials? Do you think it's going to be NFL officials? Do you think it's going to be high school, college tackle officials? Where are the representatives of the United States for the Olympics going to come from as far as officials go?
Okay, definitely not NFL officials. I don't think it's going to be NFL officials because they can, they don't have experience in reffing flag. Yeah, they have experience in reffing tackle football, but I think personally the refs are probably going to come from IFAF or flag. I mean, USA flag could have a few officials in it. It just depends all on how they go about the selection process. But I'm thinking IFAF and USA flag.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, Pat thinks that there's going to be like 8 officials on the field for every single game, so maybe maybe
I'm so
maybe
glad not here.
maybe the pool of officials that can get selected are going to be larger for the Olympics. We talked about instant replay and things like that. That might add some more staff, but if we're looking at Finland right now that is outside of the United States, and I think that does factor into how many get selected. Because when the World Games, do you know, Jacob, how many there were from the United States? 4, right? So in Finland, there's only 2 there from the United States right now. And I think there's 2 from Canada, there's 2 from Mexico, and then a lot of other countries have basically 1. And I'm not sure if there's many other countries that have multiple officials. But I don't. Everybody is 2.
So there's 3 countries that have 1. Everybody else sent a male and female representative.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. So and they got it was 50 officials is the number I think I heard.
Well, maybe it's 2 then, but it's very few. It's either 2 or 3 that have just 1 representative, but everybody sent, including Finland. I think Finland had just 2. It's at most 2 representatives. Home country, I don't think plays too much of a factor.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get in from the Cayman Islands. I mean, I'd love to rest in the Olympics, and I'd be the only person from the Cayman Islands to go. So you never know. I need recommendations, guys.
I mean, the Cayman Islands are ranked like 365 in the world rankings right now, right? Like, do they even?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
I don't even think we're ranked. I
mean, they gotta show up first before they can get invited to the dance, right? I mean, this isn't. Yeah. So, but I mean, hey, 4 years, that's a long time. They already, from what you have told us, in previous episodes, is that you guys have kind of transitioned from being, playing all 9-man contact and things like that, and you guys are doing a lot more 5-man. Do you guys use IFAF rulebook at all, or what rulebook are you guys using?
We're using USA flag right now.
Nice. Okay.
We're going because obviously, we fully transitioned to USA flag. Exactly what's on the website is what we're using. So for all our divisions.
That's awesome. So is there any, my favorite format, 5 contact? Is there any 5 contact in the Cayman Islands?
Oh yeah. We our season just kicked off 2 weeks ago. We're offering for the women, we're offering 5 non-contact. And then for the men, we're offering 5 non-contact and 5 contact. So it's a busy day. Starts at about 5:00 and we rotate back and forth.
Wait a minute. Why aren't we offering 5 contact for the women?
Yeah, bro.
No, because there's not
They don't want
there's
it?
not enough interest. Yeah, there's not enough
Okay,
interest.
that's a fair answer.
Um,
Fair answer.
we offered it,
You just,
and then we had one team sign up. So
Well, you
not
got
no,
happening.
you just got to show them a few videos of Jack pancaking a couple linemen, and they'll be all in for it.
No, but I mean, my favorite format's five contact, and I love reffing five contact because it's just you can let them play more without having to throw that flag. And it's awesome. I love it. I love five contact. Like a guy got blocked so hard the other night that he literally went flying like 3 yards. And he's like, and he
It's
looked at me.
9
He's like,
feet.
"Where's the 9 feet?" So it's like, "Where's the?" He's like, "Where's the flag?" And I'm like, "What flag? Get up, let's go."
Welcome to the show. Let them know.
Welcome to the show.
Jacob, I don't know if you heard this. Maybe it was just me. Dean, I heard a rumor that that Paul is bringing YTG to the Cayman Islands for a gauntlet rematch. They want to win in your home turf.
Well, I can tell you this, Jacob. So, oh my god. So what?
I did
YTG
hear
are
that,
gonna
actually. I talked
why
to him.
why
He said the guys were loading up the bus. They were just going to drive on down.
What?
and who play and who are they gonna play? A Cayman team?
No, they're going to play your team.
Yeah,
I don't have a team.
yeah,
I'm a
you,
ref. I'm a
you
ref.
got.
I don't play. I just ref.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
ref.
that's what you think.
Oh
I
man,
just ref.
hey, Paul said he'll play quarterback if you play quarterback.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Actually, I wouldn't mind that. Let's go.
Dude,
Let's go.
go.
Let's go. And watch, you know what? I will assemble the team and I will beat YTG.
Oh, you heard it here first, Jacob. You heard it here first.
Clip.
I will assemble the Avengers of flag football. I will assemble the Avengers.
And they'll look like the Mandalorian.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Let me get us back. The train has been off the tracks for a second here, but let me get us back on. We did a little bracketology over the last couple of days. We had some fun with picking countries. I I might be the only one that picks against the United States, but I just do it for fun, okay? And I like to just stir that pot a little bit, right? And but Dean, right back on the hot seat. Tell me now, who's winning gold tomorrow?
USA both times. Easy. Next question.
Bang, bang.
Woman, man, boom, gold, bam, done. Next question.
Okay, all right. I need scores then.
All right. So for the women's side, I mean, I've been catching some of the highlights of the women's. I mean, what's the girl's name that caught 8 touchdowns? Is it
Madison?
I just friended her. Madison, yes, absolute beast.
Yeah, she's a monster.
Her absolute beast. Obviously, my favorite player is Ashley because I got to meet her and ref her in Tampa. I ref one of her games in Tampa, thanks to an error and a forfeit on my field, which was awesome. So I just think the USA women's team is just too strong. So let's go outside the box.
Oh boy. Oh man.
Oh,
Dean off script. Here we go.
Let's go 42-14.
Against Mexico?
Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Wait. Okay. So let's give some history here to make sure we understand. The last 2 times they've played, it's been 1-1. Mexico won 2 years ago at the World Games.
Jacob, let's be clear. Mexico blew the United States out at the World Games.
Mexico
That's why this
won
is payback.
2
This is
years
payback.
ago.
This
Last
is
year
payback.
they beat United States beat Mexico in Charlotte at the Continentals. That what it was called? Copa America.
Yeah. Continentals, yeah.
So right now we're at the rubber match. I think these are different teams. I'm gonna be honest, watching Mexico the last couple of years, this isn't the same team.
No, it's not.
This is definitely not the same team that beat them 2 years ago. Now, for the United States, this is not the same team. I think you've seen sort of as far as that goes. But just 42-14. I don't think that's in an offensive friendly game like this. I don't think 14 is all you're going to get. The Spain score they had today was very out of character for the whole tournament, really, in my mind.
Yeah,
18. Then I'll change it. I'll change it.
So
I'll go
to go with something different.
I'll go 42-21.
I thought you said you were going to change it. You just
I did. It was 42-14. I added 7 points for Mexico.
All right.
Okay. All right. So for the men, the U.S. has to face the number 4 team in the world, Austria. What's the final score going to be?
Okay, maybe that should have been the 42-14. I honestly did not expect Austria to even make it this far. Like that blew my bracket out when in the second round. I was like, So I mean, that's up for grabs. Honestly, I think Austria are gonna surprise everyone in the final. They're not gonna win, but I think it's gonna be close. I think probably 28-20.
All right.
I think you need to flip the scores. Honestly,
yeah,
that would be my opinion. But hey, Austria put up 36 points on Mexico. I mean that's So I mean that's I don't know. I'll tell you this, Jacob. I got to agree with you though. The teams look so different. I officiated at the Continentals last year, and I'm looking at the players. I don't recognize any of them from the Mexico team. So they're very different teams. They have the same coaches. Maybe there's a few role players, but it looks very very different.
I'm gonna be honest with you. So the little bit I watched of the women's, I haven't got to watch a ton of it. The focal point for Mexico is Deanna. And, I see her running routes. I see her, not being, the consistent QB1. Are they phasing her out? They trying to get somebody else in the system now.
Yeah.
That's a question. Obviously, we don't know. We don't talk to those guys, and we don't really know what's going on inside the camp there. But yeah, it's very different teams.
Yeah, I mean, up until yesterday, I didn't even know that Sheila Silva had stepped away from the national team,
right?
And she was a big reason why they won the World
Absolutely.
So, so yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. I think we, of course, naturally as Americans, we get so wrapped up in that we're the center of the universe, and everything that's happening in the United States is all that matters. But there are other countries that have flag football, So, all right. So speaking of this, Jacob, brings me to my next point. This is your opportunity to be on the hot seat. Dean, take a break. Maybe think about Yoda or Darth Vader or something.
He doesn't know who that is.
I know who the characters are. I just don't know.
Jacob, is the United States domination of flag football bad for the sport?
So I used to think that it made more sense for international countries to win, right? I used to think it would be better for the sport to show that across the board, that it's not just us that plays football and that does well in football. I think it hurts the United States to not do well in a different way. The expectation for the United States is way up here, whereas for other countries, if you watch, never mind, I don't want to spoil it. if you watch Austria when they won, you see how they celebrated like they had just won everything at the end of their game against Mexico. Tomorrow, the expectation is they're going to get blown out. Fair?
Yeah.
Just let's be realistic. The expectation is they get blown out. If they keep it close, if they put the United States in a tough situation, God forbid they win the game, the United States it's more damaging to them than it is for other countries to do well. You want to see other countries do well. It's kind of the same thing with basketball. With the way we have the NBA set up, with the way we have, professional basketball and the pipeline and streamline of athletes, we're supposed to have the best in the world. I think the same expectation for football and flag football is set here for that. That's why we're having such a huge argument and conversation about the NFL being involved. To be honest, I think USA football, was it U17, U19, something like that, the tackle
U17.
team?
Oh, U20.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the U20 team, when they played Japan and they lost by 3 scores, that made the United States look horrible. People are saying, well, what kind of athletes are you producing? What's this? What's that? What people don't realize is USA football has a very particular type of person they choose to play on those teams. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what their standard is, and that's what they want. And that's fine. But it limits who they can take and the athletic ability and things like that they may get from other people that don't qualify in certain areas for them. Right, wrong, and different. That's just how it is. So to answer your question, is it good for the world? I think so. Is it good for the United States for others to win? No.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see that. I saw something on Instagram where it literally lists out there is a game tomorrow for the 29th and 30th place, and and it goes from there all the way up to the gold medal game. Now we might think like, what are we doing here? Why are they having?
Are you playing in that game, man? Are you putting your team in that game?
I'm in there. I'm coming out of retirement.
I just feel sorry. I feel sorry for the refs. I feel sorry for the refs that have to ref that game.
Well, I don't, because it's a big honor to be at that game, and no matter what the game is, I would treat it just like I would the gold medal game. But let's take from a competitive standpoint. If I put a team in, I go 0-4 in pool play. I've lost like one of my consolation games, and I'm in that 29th game or that 29th place team as a competitor. Am I putting my team in that game? Am I playing that? That's a tough sell to my team.
Here's why you have to, because the world rankings is going to depend on what funding you get from your country.
Very good point. Very good.
Yeah.
Point.
So this is an Olympic sport. So the funding that the country gives to their sports. I mean, you think about boxing. Forever, it was dominated by Cuba.
Yeah.
Well, because it was dominated by Cuba, they kept getting all the money from the organization, the Cuban Olympic organization, and so they kept churning out boxing champs. It might be that same situation where 29 just gets a little bit more attention than 30. I remember last year when it was I officiated I think it was the 7-8 game, and it was Brazil-Argentina. I had officiated their game earlier in the week, and it was a blowout. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, we're going to have the same thing. It's 7-8, so who cares? That was the most competitive game that I officiated the entire 3 days I was there. Brazil and Argentina are already rivals in every other sport. And so, we're talking about Alabama, Georgia kind of atmosphere. I mean, they played their heart out all the way. I mean, and the game went back and forth, came down to one team, all they had to do was run out the clock. They mistimed their throws, incomplete passes. It ends up getting turned over. The other team comes down and scores, ends up winning the game last minute. I mean, it was extremely competitive. We had a lot more penalty flags that we were throwing. A couple days ago, I posted kind of a sequence of events in IFAF game where it's in the red zone. There's a bunch of formation going on, and it was like every down had 2 or 3 penalties being called.
Right.
And that's what was going on in that game, and I think that's what you see with the intensity of these games. So, Dean, your kind of first and gut thought was, I feel bad for the officials. I'll tell you right now, when I was officiating that game, it was kind of the tail end of my week, and I had to really just like hone in and be like locked in. I got to make sure I'm getting everything right, more than the game that I did that Mexico or the United States were involved in, because those were blowouts. I think countries go into playing the United States and they just think, we know we're going to lose this game. What we're looking for, we want the number 12th ranking in the world. That's what we're going for. And so, they're strategic. I don't know, I don't know where you heard it from, Jacob, as far as Canada goes, but you want to share that information?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Nope.
So, there's those kind of things where strategically teams are doing things so that they play certain teams, or they, whatever it is. Who know, it happens everywhere in sports.
Yeah.
We talk about teams that sandbag and they win rec worlds, and they change their name and say that they have a different captain, and they stay in rec. They they don't.
Right.
They want that glory. So I don't know. It is interesting for sure.
Yeah.
But
So
no,
it's a good point you brought up. I did see an official over in Finland right now. He's shout out to Klaus. He's from Denmark. He posted a thing talking about the Danish teams playing for a particular place for funding, and when you mentioned that again, that kind of all clicked. You're right. These guys are they may not win, or they may be the competitor and may not want to play in those games, but at the end of the day, when there's a means to an end there, and they go into these tournaments knowing, hey, we're not going to win, but there's money on the line for us down the road to keep this program going and get us to the Olympics in 28. I think that does matter.
yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, I just kind of want to read some box scores. Essentially, these games like today, the last couple of days, there was blowouts everywhere. I mean, we're talking about 68 point differentials and stuff. But I was just looking at some of these games. The women's, Austria just barely beat Brazil 34-32. Great Britain beat Switzerland 35-26. Spain beat France 28-22. Those are close games. And these are countries that play each other all the time. We had Switzerland beat Canada 27-21. I know there was a lot of people that were expecting Canada to have a shot at the gold medal game, and then like you brought up earlier, Jacob, the United States only beat Spain 18-14.
Yep, that was a very that was an outlier, I think, to what they've been doing, and to how they've been playing. It just seemed like they got stopped short a couple of times, and they just couldn't get out of that little rut. But then when I watched the second half of that game, they took off. They did what they needed to do, and defensively they held it down. So, I mean, to hold a team to 2 scores, that's fantastic.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then the final game that I really excited me, and I watched a lot of it, was in the women's semis, Mexican versus Japan. That's basically 2 seed versus 3 seed. The final score was 40-31. So, Dean, when you say that Mexico is only going to score like 14 or 21 points, I don't think they scored less than 40 all 3 days. I think that might have been their lowest scoring game, but. It's also very cool to see Japan with 2 on the women's team. They have 2 players that frequent USA flag tournaments a lot, and they have a male on the male team. They have a player that also goes to a lot of USA flag tournaments. So it's exciting to see that also there are players that live in America, but they're now finding their home with another country. So that
Yeah,
so that was really cool.
definitely. I definitely see the next probably give it 2 years, let people start really feeling out how the NFL is going to handle the Olympics, how things are going to go, and let there actually be a decision made about players versus NFL players. You'll start
Yeah.
seeing a lot of folks get dual citizenship. There's a couple coaches who are over there that are United States citizens that have dual citizenship now. You're going to start seeing more of that, I think, with these smaller countries. There's a lot going on behind the scenes and everything that that we don't even see. That I think we're gonna start seeing some interesting things come out.
Yeah, no, for sure. So speaking of interesting things, I'm excited to see how this goes. Jacob, we're going to try something out. It might be a complete train wreck, but either way, it's going to be entertaining, and I think the audience will appreciate it. So we had a game earlier today that played out Mexico versus Austria. It was a men's semifinal game. So we're going to do a little play-by-play commentary and we're going to go through this. We want to, we are officials, so we want to talk through penalties and just have some fun with this. So, Jacob, you're going to cue this up, right?
Yep, yeah, just making sure I have everything right, and let's go ahead and rock and roll. You guys ready?
Yes,
Yep.
sir. Ready to roll. No
All
pressure.
right. All right. So as you can see, I don't know if it's showing for you guys. We have we're gonna look at the second half of Mexico versus Austria, the men's game, and we're just gonna walk through our very own Des Abrams from the United States. She's the crew chief in this game. As you guys see, the score is 24-14 at halftime. We're just gonna go ahead and start it. And are you guys good with how the screens are? You gonna leave it like this? Do we want to go another route?
No, that would look good to me. I like
All right,
that.
cool.
I'm good. This is
All right,
good.
cool. So we're gonna rock and roll. So coming out of the huddle, Felix Washuber, work with me on these names, guys. I'm gonna do my best, but we got a bunch formation. As you see, our rusher with his hand up. We'll get a number here in a second. That's a good clean play. Officials moving
There
with
we
the
go.
play. I think that's pretty good.
Good movement.
Let's see here. Alonzo Gaxolia with the breakup and super short shorts.
I think he plays professional tackle in Mexico.
Does he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so his nickname for the game will be Short Shorts.
Okay.
Oh, did you see it? He said he's got him in his seatbelt.
Yeah, he put the
Lock it
seatbelt
down.
on. All right, so we got slot left. Drop back. All right, and that's Martin Sturr for Austria. You see him a little bit more, getting a little bit more involved at the end of the half. He does a fairly decent job here. This is
good catch, good hands.
I was gonna say it's a good clean play. There's nothing crazy going on here. And I think that's.
Oh, did he just punch him in the chest?
Yeah, well,
that's flag. That's flag. Fighting.
All right, so we're slot left. He's looking for the first down.
Oh, he's got a catch.
We got a catch. He called a catch. That would be that's Gregor Brauer who caught that.
All right.
Gregor Bauer.
Let's see. Here we go.
Up, control.
Oh yeah, I saw the foot go down.
Yep. All right. So, Ant, let's talk about this for a second.
Yeah.
As they're lining up, would you have any contact there? Think IFAF?
No, I think they were both going for the ball.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. So this
Got
right
him.
here is David Tescher. Okay.
Touchdown.
David Tescher, he's a center for Austria. He's also Austria's main receiver. Okay. This guy is going to have more catches. And if you guys notice in the background, I forgot, while Des is on this crew, we also got our guy from Philip. He came to the United States a couple of years ago. He came and worked with us at USA Flag. He was my first international experience with officials for us. But anyways, back to the play here. I mean, this dude, he's
Oh, nice dip.
He's a little dip. He's scrappy. That's the best way I can describe it.
Is it just the camera angle, or is he that short?
I think he's that short.
Cool.
Center in the United States you could compare him to? Jacob?
Trying to think who'd be good. Nobody stands out really. I mean, he's scrappy. That's the best way I can describe it. Who would be a scrappy center you could think of?
Jeez. I asked you a question and I didn't even have one in my mind.
That's when you don't have a good answer. You just follow up with a question and it deflects.
Who's the center? Who's the center? Who's the center on New Dynasty? No, I'm just kidding.
He is a C. He definitely is scrappy.
Yeah. All right. So right there we had Victor Balderramos with the reception there. You're going to see a lot of Ivan Orozco
all right.
at quarterback. Yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this side snap. All right.
Yeah.
So USA flag rules, it's clear, like it's written clearly. You have to snap between the legs. Apparently in IFAF it's not. Every other format it's not. You know, what do you guys think about that? What's going to happen here?
I hate the side snap. I don't like it.
Hate the side snap. What's your new
I don't
favorite
like
college
it.
team did
it?
So
yeah, they're doing it in college.
Yeah. Watch. They're going to do it in the NFL this year. Calling it.
That was a horrible pass. Like, that was awful.
So the interesting thing, did you guys see how they dropped 3?
Yeah.
Drop 3. You think everybody was 7 yards back? Because everybody did rush.
Oh, I don't think they were. What she got?
Just something interesting to look at.
Was there a flag there? Is that what got called?
Nope. No flag.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. Maybe there was a flag. Hold on.
Yeah, it probably was an illegal rush.
Let's back up a little bit here.
Yeah, they're not 7 back. That guy on the far side was definitely not 7.
Right here, our guy right here he's our rush line.
Yeah, they were all 7.
They were.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. Yep. They just only had one with his hand up. So yeah.
Oh, well, you see. That. Hold on. Go back. You can see there's a flag deep downfield. If you reverse it back,
it's gonna be you're gonna replay here. So where's the flag come in?
From the back judge over there on the far side.
Right there. That
not him. The one on the other side.
Yeah, you see, she's pretty good. That's gonna she's
the one that
announcement made. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting reminder for me that just watching the last couple of days, DPI in the end zone does not bring you to the 1 yard line. It's only 10 yards from the line.
10 yards. Jeez, why is that so choppy? Hold on 1 second, guys. I want to.
Yeah, you good. Dean, I'm telling you right now, if I'm playing, I'm bringing my country to play in the 29-30 game. I'm going to play DB, even though I have no DB skills. And if I'm worried about a team scoring, I'm going to commit pass interference because it's only 10 yards.
I know, that is ridiculous. Like, I'll do it every single time. That's why I think DPI in the end zone should be on the 1 yard line, because then it deters teams from doing that.
All right, so we got a backwards pass from Orozco to Balderramos, who
scores.
He scores right there.
Yeah, because he's got both flags on.
No.
Yeah, and this is one of those scores that every PAT matters so much because it's 24-20. So now it's going to be 26-24. Mm-hmm. They need, these PATs. Austria, threw a pick on the last one. It's going to make it where there's not going to be a tie.
All right, they got two on the right.
Yep, we're going to. We got 2 dropping back.
How is he that wide open?
Because
dropping.
essentially you're 1-on-1 at that point.
Yeah, dropping 3 is so dangerous.
Man.
And even though, I think Mexico did it this entire tournament, so Austria already knows that that's coming. That's why they have those 3 guys at the 7-yard mark, so they can rush in right away.
Right, man. But like if you go back and watch, I don't want to go back again because I think it gets kind of choppy when you do. But if you go back and watch, you see guys crossing and like as far as rushers go, changing lanes, trying to go after like they're sticking man to man, and I don't think that's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
If people are moving, cover where you can without getting crossed up. Not saying that's what caused that, but that's our guy Martin Sturr coming down with a quick catch out of bounds.
There we go. So Mexico up by 12 right now.
Yep, we got 2. It's a 2-score game. This is where we're going to start seeing Austria, though. They're gonna start coming back. They're going to start moving a little bit quickly. Daniel Hochleitner. That's a fun one to try to say. This guy gets involved late in the game. We're gonna start seeing him get more involved right here, and he starts making a really big impact. Him and David Cheshire they're the big receivers for this team.
And that's such a difference with IFAF is that really once that receiver gets their position, a DB really can't do much at all.
Exactly.
That was a great catch. That was a great catch.
So that's what I'm just saying. He's scrappy, man. Like watch. And see, I lied. He wasn't center right there. He's playing in the slot. But he finds ways to get open.
Oh, I know exactly who a crafty little center is. What's the guy that plays with grown ups sometimes? He was on the national team. Little guy, and he sometimes he rushes, sometimes he plays DB, but he plays center a lot. He's exactly the same thing. Real,
Did he just drop the ball?
Watch this. No, he throws it into the ground. He didn't drop it. He grounded it. So intentional grounding's legal. That's what right, Ant?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
In USA flag, though, intentional grounding is illegal in contact, right? But correct. It's legal in non-contact. Yeah.
Yep. So we got a little in and out right there. Put a little motion there for our guy Daniel. I'm not going to try to keep saying his last name.
Yeah.
But it's just real basic. It's like you just said. As soon as you get position, there's nothing the defender could do. So kudos to.
I really like the movement. Yeah, the movement of the official. Say,
he's our rush line, but he immediately gets to the line to gain, which is most important right there. You've got good coverage on either side of it.
Yeah, it's so nice having the players and the coaches being in that box in the middle of the field. It gives the officials so much freedom and movement.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely gives you more room to move and more room to look at things. That's just a good, clean pass. Because again, Tescher's the guy for this team. He's Captain Clutch.
Yeah, so they went for 2. So now it's 32-28.
So we're on the back end of the half here. This is where things start getting interesting.
And you can line up directly over the center too, but it looks
yep.
in the rush.
The rusher has right away from any point of the field. Let's talk about that flagpole because it
looked like there was contact.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. Is he kind of, I don't want to say he wrapped him up, but he did wrap both arms around him.
Yeah.
All right. So this is one of the biggest issues that we have on the island if you wrap someone up, right, and you go for the flag and you get the flag, yes, is it still a flag, like a penalty on it? If you wrap someone, you don't bring him to the ground, but just like that flagpole over there, would that technically be a flag? Because I've seen, normally you let that go, right?
So in IFAF, from the time I've officiated it and from the time you've officiated it, I was taught that something like that is a flag.
Yeah.
Here we go with this side snap crap again. See, that's just another reason right there. Good, clean reason why it doesn't work. You try to get goofy things happen.
Yeah. That's so
but,
crazy. It just doesn't even look right. I'm sorry. I know you're trying to make a point, Jacob.
But it doesn't. Where was I? I was headed down a completely different path. All right, so Dean, to answer your question regarding contact, I think the biggest thing we're looking for is you're looking for hands on the player first. In regards to USA flag rules, you're looking for hands, being where they're supposed to be going, making a legitimate attempt to pull a flag. Once your hands are there, the body's secondary, and as long as it's not egregious or malicious or over the top, I think you're okay. In IFAF though, this is supposed to be no contact. It's a true form of that. I think this turnover right here, this was the deciding point in the game. I know Austria is currently down, but I think this right here was the true point where Mexico, this is where they lose it. It's not so much the last drive when they barely miss it there, or how it ends. I think them losing right there.
Oh, that should be a flag. That should be a flag.
Watch this. Yeah, watch
this.
He
came straight over the back of him.
Yep. Or maybe it was. I can't remember. Let's see.
Oh, no, He's good. He's good.
And what do you think?
I mean,
we got a contact call on the play.
Yeah, it's got that has to be a flag.
Right.
It doesn't matter even if you're falling into the player. If you make contact that has an impact, so essentially, if you didn't make that contact, that player might have had a chance at running with the ball. You prevented him from catching and running, so you have to call that.
From my understanding, and here we go, we got that's another first down, but my understanding, intent does not matter.
Correct.
So we had another good catch here from Martin Sturr.
How many officials are there on this game? There's 4, right?
Four officials. Four is the maximum that IFAF runs. They're not going to run 6 or 8 or 22 or however many Pat wants.
8 officials in the Olympics is excessive, man.
That's insane. It's too many people.
It was. I was kind of leaning back and forth between you and Pat on that, Jacob, until you talked about the amount of players on the field. There's only 10 players on the field, so why do you need any more than 4?
Right.
Sorry to cut you there. Was this? Let me check the No, the quarterback flopped. Dude, get up.
Yeah, no. There was. He kind of went off balance, I think, to avoid having his flag pulled, and I think it looked a little goofier than it actually was.
Good no call. Good no call.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, I gotta say, Des has her crew is just hustling this entire game.
Oh, absolutely.
I was gonna say I'm gonna definitely compliment the crew movement because the crew movement has been exceptional.
And the other thing too, guys. I mean, Aunt, I know you've worked with her. You've worked with her before?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I've worked with her before as a crew member. I've worked with her as a director. Des is one of the all-time greats. There's a reason she's there. There's a reason she's in the position she is. There's a reason she's just doing the things and breaking the barriers that she is. She's phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel left out. I need to work with this. I feel left out.
That's if Des wants to work with you. Yeah, no, she's one of the all-time greats, man.
It's one of those situations though, right? Like the NBA players that had the opportunity to play with Jordan and they thought it'd be cool to wear Jordans while they played them. It's like one of those situations. I feel like when I officiated with Des, I was so nervous and I wanted to make sure I got everything right. I remember I threw a flag guard and I dropped the flag where I thought the spot was, and immediately she's like, "Well, is that the spot or is that the spot? Where are you throwing the ball?" And I was like, I just in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna get fired. She's gonna kick me off this field right now.
Right.
But it's one of those. She was teaching,
Yep. And the thing, I learned a lot from her, in the time I officiated with her, and it was little things, just little things, and she made a lot of it make sense, especially because we worked IFAF together. That was what we did. We did the Junior International Cup a couple of years ago, and a lot of what she was saying, isn't always as it's tribal knowledge, So I definitely learned a lot from her. That touchdown right there, this is the game right here.
Yeah.
That and the 2-point conversion. I mean, it made it where Mexico has to go down and score, and we know how this song ends.
Yeah.
So.
That's a mechanic. Sorry, Dean. That's a mechanic that I see. I've seen it the last few days. All these officials do so well. Is when they signal the touchdown, they're following the player. Turning their back to the field, and their focus is on the one player or the two players that are involved in that play. Now, I know with IFAF, it's a lot more important because you can get a contact penalty out of bounds. So
Yeah.
if some contact happens while they're rolling out of bounds, that's why you're watching it. You're also watching for anything unsportsmanlike that might happen. But I have it's something that, and I see B Cub because he has so much experience in IFAF. I see him do it. When we and him were working co-ed pro in Nashville, I mean, he locks in on that player, and that you don't have to worry about what's going on in that play because he's got it. It's definitely a mechanic that I need to work on.
Well, it goes back to dead ball officiating. Just because there's no football being played doesn't mean you're not working the game still. You're still keeping your pre-snap reads. You're still getting things set. You're still keeping the temperature of the game. Because it's always in between. If you notice, it's always in between the plays is when all the issues start. It's never actually during a play.
Dean, have you ever, maybe in Miami, had a situation where something happened in between a play?
Tell us, Dean,
it wasn't anything like Jacob's incident in Vegas, but I was riffing with you, Ant, and Jordan, and it was just I didn't know I'm not supposed to get in between players, Because my instinct is I want to separate this fight right now because I don't want this escalating any further. So, and then I was just like afterwards, you were like, "Don't ever get in the middle of that. Just let him fight it out.
Let him go,
Jacob will get in the middle of it."
Yep.
No, but it was. I remember
time.
like when you said you were nervous working with Desiree. It was same thing with me in Tampa when I got switched on that forfeit game and I went to go work one of the pro games. I worked with Courtney, and Courtney scares me, man. Like Courtney scares me. I did not want to mess up. I did not want to mess up because Courtney scared. I got to the field. I was like, "Yes, ma'am. Okay, no problem. I'm a deep official." Courtney's awesome. And then we worked the game, and she's awesome. She honestly is awesome. So I was scared for nothing, but it worked out good.
Yeah,
it was great.
So Jacob, you see on that last play. So this is when it matters the most, and they went out of the offense that got them 32 points. They only had one quarterback in the backfield.
Yep, and you notice it's not number eight here, or Zako. He's typically their quarterback. He came on and off the field a couple of times. He's back there right now, but where's the ball right now when it matters most?
Yeah.
And see, there we have contact.
Yep.
So,
we have the flag.
Yep. It's not, if you notice the first guy I wish they show it again. The first guy got the flag, it looks like.
What is he calling? Personal foul?
No, not personal foul. It's
No,
just illegal contact.
Because he did
illegal
this. I saw
contact.
him did this.
That's IFAF for illegal
No.
contact.
Yeah, that's contact.
Dean is really frustrated
Why
with
can't you
that.
just make everything? Why can't you just make everything uniform, man? Like it's
No,
better.
no,
This is
no,
always
no.
better. This is always
You
better.
should
Illegal contact.
you should you should see when I do that to Lance in a game. He gets so upset at me. He's like, "What is that? What are you saying like that?" And I'm
All
like,
right,
"Illegal
so
contact."
all right, so got it. Next time I'm working with Lance, do this for illegal contact. Got it. Heard. Copy that.
So something else to notice too here. So number one, they danced around a lot. I don't know if you guys noticed Dez. As soon as the play started, she immediately slid off the field. As soon as she
Yeah,
felt like
yeah.
that potentially she was going to be in the way or in the playing field, even at the R position, she got off the field. You know, a lot of officials. I still see officials trying to be a back judge in center field. You know, and try to justify it to me. You know, get off the field, get out of the way of the players. You know, this is not tackle. This isn't. You know, we don't have umpires for a reason. You don't need that. All you're doing is cutting off throwing lanes. But you see right here, even here, she's before the snap. This right here, this can be the next play. This is the play of the game right here. This is the play that decides the game. You know, if you notice, Mexico ran the clock down. They didn't want to give Austria any time, which I don't think was a smart move. Trust your defense. Your defense got you this far.
Yeah.
But they call a timeout, and then we're here for these last two plays here. This will be it. But this was a good game. This is a really good competitive game. And, you know, IFAF, I think at this level, they miss a lot of that because, you know, a lot of it's lopsided. But on the flip side, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean today, like I said, you know, me reading those scores today, there were a lot of close games, but the last 2 days it was nothing but blowouts.
Right. So here we go. This will be third down. Watch the center, number 2. We're watching Bruno Chiano. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Watch how he moves right here. Bam.
Yeah.
So you see real quick, and it's going to show a better angle right here. But you show as he runs his dart, he sticks his arm out and pushes off of the defender. Right there, pushes off, comes in, and immediately looks because he knows.
Also down, fourth down.
Yeah. So we're at fourth down. This is for all the marbles.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I've heard that, you know, philosophy, and this is totally coming from players because they think that, you know, they just have that mindset. You can't make a call like that when it matters the most.
No,
Well,
absolutely. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
this is a crew. Yeah, this is a crew that the entire game they've been making the right calls. They over and over again they were making calls around illegal contact. So this supported the calls they made at the start of the game. Doesn't matter if it's the end or the start.
Absolutely. And I think too, time should not matter, you know, and that's something I harp on. People talk about all the time, like you can't make this call. It's like you said, you can't make this call at this point in the game, or you can't do this, you can't do that. Like, you know, you're changing momentum. It doesn't matter, you know, if the call's right and if a fish or if a penalty occurs, you have to call it. You call everything you see. It doesn't matter if there's 1 second or if there's 11 minutes and 59 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
And I think like that's one of the biggest things is with some of the officials is they not scared, but they're not willing to make those calls in the heat of the moment when this would like the game, like for instance, the game on the line, 20 seconds, they see that contact and they're like, well, it wasn't really agreed. No, like if the call's the call, make the call. Like I think a lot of officials are timid to make that call because they don't want to impact the game, but if there's contact, there's contact. Make the call.
The thing is people try to justify it by saying let the players determine the outcome of the game, and I believe that as well to an extent. But again, it boils down to if you have a foul, you have to call it, because it's true to the game. So
yeah, I mean, I ended a co-ed semifinal game in it was pro. It was Curry Bombshells and TC United, and it was a false start on a receiver, third down, false start, turnover on downs. TC United ran out the clock.
brutal, but
You
it's a
know,
foul that happens. Check
she
this out.
jumped. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say sorry. So we dropped 3 right here, and you see how
Yeah.
this ends. I mean, he just had completely. It's like you said, got away from the offense that scored.
Yeah, and
And
Austria's going crazy.
and they should. But this is what I talked about earlier in the show. These guys, they celebrated like they just won the tournament, and they still have another game tomorrow to play, or by this point today in Finland. I mean, it was a. I mean, I guess that was the right look, and this right here ends it.
Yeah.
So
Good for Austria, man. That's awesome.
So let's see here. And I'm going to go to stop sharing now. And we're back to the
go.
regular show.
Nice. Well, yeah, I mean, that's IFAF, right? It looks very different. Dean, that, at some point you're going to officiate, IFAF games when the Cayman Islands team gets their act together, and and you can, get into international play. Me and Jacob have had that opportunity. I go back and forth. I definitely I enjoy the black and white about it. You are calling every contact you see. You're just gonna call it, that's just what it comes down to. And basically, everything falls under illegal contact. And the one penalty that doesn't, because it's not related to contact, is shielding or impeding the rush. So outside of that, though, it's so black and white. But it takes out the whole philosophy of letting players play and intent and things like that. I don't know. I know that we had the conversation last week with Omer and Juan, and he mentioned that maybe in the Olympics there might be some changes as far as the IFAF rulebook goes to kind of have it be more exciting. Jacob, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I mean, if you look at it right now, there is not a governing body that's been designated by the IOC. So there's no set of rules that we know of yet.
Yeah.
The nice thing is IFAF's established, right? They're the people who you would imagine are going to be the ones who get the bid, but there's other people out there too who I'm sure could come up with something to make this work. From what I've watched, and you've been watching a lot more than I have, style of play from last year to this year, and even 2 years ago to this year, has changed.
Yeah.
We've been watching, and we've been seeing a lot more contact than what's normal, and that has not been called. Right, wrong, indifferent. However, that's not me making any kind of slights at the officials. Who knows? They could have been told to let people play a little bit more. Maybe with the Olympics, the way things are going, this is something that we're looking at. Maybe there's something. Maybe there are some changes that are on the horizon that we don't know about, and maybe that's something. But I do think there's a lot of interesting things we're going to see these next coming years, and potential probable changes. It keeps coming right back to the NFL players. If you're going to have NFL players, how much are you going to adapt for them? Because if Tyreek Hill goes and lines up against a defensive back from the Cayman Islands,
No, a father of 3 from Austria or from Hungary or Germany, Ukraine.
Well, I mean, a father from 3 from Austria right now is in the gold medal game.
Sorry, Ukraine.
Okay, well, we can go with Ukraine. I think Ukraine, did they go 0-4, 0-3?
I think they did.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, just look at that right there. How lopsided is that going to be? You want to have some sort of balance, and you want to make it, I'm not saying you need to make it so it's fair for everybody, but make it so that way there's a balance across the board. You want everyone to be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, look at Bruce Mapp. He played a year or two in the league, and he basically towers over every DB he plays against internationally.
Jay High,
The,
he did as well. Yep.
yeah, I mean, they're not even leaving their feet if they don't, if they don't have to, they're not going to, and
Mm-hmm.
they're still towering over these DBs. So that's something that you don't see these other teams. I mean, I think Canada had some bigger guys, but you can only there's only so much of a talent pool in some of these countries, and you got to take what you can get. I did
Absolutely.
notice though, as far as the women's go, I would say Canada and Mexico, they found taller receivers, and like we both said, the teams look very different. The
Yep.
receivers from Mexico are definitely taller than they were 2 years ago, for
You're
sure.
right.
So,
Yep. Absolutely.
but yeah, I mean, hey, a lot of interesting stuff, and tomorrow it's all going to be, come to the conclusion. There will be the big, games all the way from the bottom all the way to the top, bronze medal, gold medal. They're playing in a stadium now. I'm not sure what condition that stadium is in Finland, but
Oh, so
um,
they're not playing on the fields they've been playing on all week.
no, bronze medal and gold medal are, yeah,
Oh,
in the stadium. So I don't know if that's a college there that they're at, or
I'm sure.
yeah. So
That's pretty
so
cool.
yeah. So that's pretty exciting. I do think that they will be close games. Who knows? Maybe Austria will surprise the U.S. I do think that Italy came out the first half, and they had a lead on the United States all the way up
Mm-hmm.
until like the last minute of the first half, and then the United States it clicked on. They got one touchdown, they got an interception, they got another touchdown. So then they were up, and then they went into half, got the ball back, and it was 30-17 that quickly, or 30-13. So they were up by 17 points. Game's over at that point. Then the United States is going to lock down and finish out the game. So
That
uh,
you talk about that quarterback or talk about Italy, and the fact the quarterback they have, Luke, I forget what his name is, but he's unreal. I mean, he's got a cannon of an arm. He's got a very high IQ. I mean, they were in the gold medal game in the World Games a couple of years ago.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and Jacob, you and me were talking about it. The quarterback from Spain, not mobile at all. I happened to look up. I happened
Shot put in the football.
I happened to look up his information. He is a professional tackle football player in Spain. So, so they found themselves a quarterback because that's the talent pool that they have. But he could not move. He was
Yeah,
he was going to sit back there and shot put the ball, and that's what he had. So
he quit living in the wrong
very
country.
yeah, for sure. So all right, guys, that was a lot of fun. I appreciate Jacob you getting all the behind the scenes work set up for us. Dean, just any final thoughts for the night?
No, I'm looking really forward to Tampa in January. I mean, I've seen like the countries that are coming down. I mean, teams from Afghanistan, that's crazy. Teams coming all the way from China, from Japan. Like it's insane that this is what flag is. Like this is what it's come to, and I love it, and I can't wait for the sport to continue to grow. And man, I'm just so excited for Worlds. I honestly can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. So I wish I could see you guys in Orlando, but not this year, unfortunately.
Jacob, final thoughts for the night?
Man, I just this has been a really fun week. I know a lot of people been Anthony. I know you not been sleeping at all. A lot who've been tuning in the middle of the night, early mornings. I know I've had it, in the background at work going on. People come up to me going, what's on your phone right there? And I'm like, yeah, this is flag football, man. It's the World Championships. You could flip through all week long, just whatever game you wanted to watch. This was better than Sunday Ticket.
Yeah.
But no, man, it's really cool. And to Dean's point, I'm working on some things for Tampa. I'm really excited for what's going to be available and what we're going to have in store for the officials this year. Signups to be coming up pretty soon. I believe I'm hoping to start that at the beginning of next month. But yeah, I mean, we got.
I will be the first. I will be the first person to apply.
I don't
for
think
Tampa,
you.
100%.
I don't think you will.
100%. It's not even a question. As soon as you send it out, regardless of where I am or what time it is, boom, apply immediately with immediate effect.
Just Jacob, just do it when he's officiating a game down there, so that he.
Yeah,
I'll stop the game. I will stop the game. I will be like, hey, my time, stop, my time. I'll be like, hold on my phone. Wait a minute. Give me 10 minutes. All right, apply.
Star Wars is. All right, Dean, that's your homework assignment this weekend.
Oh, but
no,
Jacob,
no. This weekend is insanely. I got an offline fantasy football draft, which is crazy on Saturday. It's insane. Like if you draft the same player twice, you have to do a shot. If you speak out of turn, you got to do a shot. It basically by round 3, you don't know where you are. Interesting. So, but maybe next weekend. Maybe next weekend.
No, on Sunday when you're recovering from your online draft-a-palooza, sit down. It's time to watch some Star Wars, man. Start with the first 3.
It's so long, I can't sit down. I have ADHD. There's no way I could sit down for 3 hours.
But he's almost got the opportunity to watch them chronologically for the first time.
No, I feel like that's what you have to do.
You got to do it that way. And so, what was it? Did you ever watch the cartoon Clone Wars?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That explains everything about that. All the different planets. I don't want to get into nerd mode here, but yeah,
I'm glad I have something else.
There was also a month ago. There was also I watched Shawshank Redemption for the first time and Godfather.
All right, wrap it up.
and
all right,
and Godfather.
Yeah. Now he can't come back on the show. To my point, for Tampa signups will be up for all my officials who watch, or all officials who watch the show. We really appreciate it. But be on the lookout for that. Like I said, we have a lot of fun things in store for Tampa. Some stuff we really want to give back, and some really cool opportunities that are only going to be available in Tampa. So you definitely, if you're on the fence about spending the weekend there, versus other places, I think there's some things that'll entice you to be with us. So if you got any questions, reach out. But yeah, that's me. It's always a pleasure, man. I always appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, for sure. And at the end of the day, I'm a fan of this sport. I played it. I've been an official. I ran a team for a while. I've worn a lot of different hats. These last few days, I've just been able to be a fan. I've been able to connect with more officials internationally and just build connections in that way. But the thing was today, something I was thinking about is this is the IFAF World Championships. I know in other countries, some of them are calling it the World Cup. 55 teams. In January, we are going to be in a location where there are 1,000+ teams. I mean, it's so different, and it's just, that is an experience that, Dean, you're absolutely right. You're excited about Tampa. I'm always excited about Tampa. Like, that's something to look forward to. And so I'm excited that more countries are getting involved. We're starting to get officials from other countries. involved, and it just feels like it gets better and bigger every year, and I don't think that that's possible, and then it happens again. So
Exactly.
so I'm definitely I'm looking forward to that for sure. This was a lot of fun, guys. I think there's got to be something. We might have to do another special episode with the gold medal games. If either one of them aren't blowouts, we'll see. But this was a lot of fun, guys. So I appreciate you guys coming on. Dean, I have not seen an order come through for you for merch, and I'm a little disappointed. I need the Cayman Islands to be covered. Every single car needs a clocks running card magnet. Everybody needs, they need their water bottle. They need shirts. Come on, man, you got to load up your island.
I'll get some. I'll get some. I'll get some merch. I'll get some merch going. For
I mean,
sure.
you got a Mandalorian shirt and you've never seen Star Wars, but you don't have a Clocks Running shirt, and you've been on the show 3 times now. What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. So,
I'll get my Clocks Running shirt. Don't worry. I'll definitely get it going. Hey, will I be allowed to wear that under my ref shirt? Is that applicable?
What?
If I
black
wear a
one?
Clocks Running shirt, can I
Is
wear
it
it
black?
under my ref shirt? Well, what
Is
happens if it isn't?
What do you think?
No.
What happens if it's white?
What do you think? What does the uniform standard say?
Black.
Man, get out of here. All right. So we have merch, and like I always say, this is the best experience. Watching it on YouTube, listening, watching it on YouTube. So go to YouTube, type in Clocks Running, hit the subscribe button, like the videos. We this is episode 33 right now, so we have so much content just on YouTube alone. But if you're one of those people that just likes to listen to podcasts while you're driving or while you're at work or whatever, well, we're on every single platform. So you can find us wherever you like to listen to podcasts. Finally, for the people that are, under the age of whatever Jacob is, that like content on Instagram, there's TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Twitter. We got it all, and I try to just do stuff off the wall. Let me just say this to anybody that ends up in a video: don't take it personal. We're all having fun here. We got to remember that at the end of the day, we're all people. We all want to have a smile on our face. You know what I mean? And this is a sport that we all love and enjoy. So I try to make fun of myself just as much as I try to make fun of the Curry Bombers or Bex Plus One or any other guys that that I know pretty well because we all need a laugh once in a while. We go through life and things happen. There's ups and downs, but if somebody can turn on Instagram and they see some stupid TikTok that I've made and it makes them laugh, and then we've done our job. So I appreciate everybody that mission accomplished.
Hey, Jacob, the officials on field 8A are still waiting for their water, by the way.
Hey, Dean.
He doesn't get it back for a while.
Oh man. Well, with that being said, Dean, our personal island boy, minus the face tats, and Jacob and everybody else listening, y'all have a good night.
You too, man.
Good night.
Appreciate you.
Peace out. Peace.